What is going on, guys? It's your boy Kyberlord, and welcome back to another deck profile. And yes, it is the one you've all been asking for, and it is Sky Striker. Now, we finally got the release of Magnificent Maidens, and as you can see, we finally got Linkage. So it was sort of like a big buff for Sky Striker. It does make the deck a lot more consistent. We are only running one roast now because Linkage is a bit OP, so free extender, you don't need a body on the field, and you can basically OTK if your opponent has an empty board, or if you manage to break their board, you can easily OTK with having two cards in your hand, and one of them is Linkage. So I did a lot of testing, obviously, with Linkage before locals, so I went to locals, and I can honestly say that Linkage is a really, really good card. With Sky Striker, there is a lot of builds, different builds going around, but with Linkage, I would probably say it pushes Sky Striker up to, like, maybe tier 2. We won't break the meta, we won't be, like, tier 1 again, so it is what it is, but it does make the deck a lot more consistent. There is also the debate of, like, are we playing Hamp? And I can honestly say I won't be playing Hamp for a while. If anything, it is a, like, side deck, a one-of in the side deck. It is searchable because it is considered a Sky Striker card. But, I mean, if you're desperate for a Kaiju, just play a Kaiju. And why would you waste your Engage searching for Hamp? Maybe if Engage was at 2 or 3, we would play Hamp because then we have more ways to search it, but we don't want to waste our Engage on that. Also, Alarion, bad card in my opinion. We're not playing it. A lot of people go, yes, it gives you the attack buff, you can search it, blah, 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 blah. But it's a bad card. Don't play it. Don't play it. I mean, a deck profile might top with it, but I really, really doubt it. So if you haven't picked up Magnificent Maidens, definitely pick it up. It does bring some cool Sky Striker sleeves and linkage, baby. Now, let's get started with the deck profile. If you enjoy the video at any time, make sure you like and subscribe. And thank you guys for all the support. Let's get started with Sky Striker.
Stardust, Black Rose, no hope, life low. Alright, I'm set, I got my deck. I'm about to head to my homie crib next. I got a brand new combo with some chicks. I'm about to burn them for 8,000 quick. Got it on standby so you can't draw. Main phase ain't shit, go to your school phase, that mean you lost. That's how it be.
Alright then, guys, let's get started with the main deck. So it is a 40 card build. It looks chunky because I am double sleeving. I'm using the Kagari sleeves. And let's appreciate the OCG Linkage playmat. I knew I had to cop this before the Linkage release, and I'm really glad I did. It looks beautiful in person. The colors, I just had to. I had to. Alright, so starting off, we're playing 3 of our new Ultimate Rare Sky Striker Ace Ray. If you can, definitely pick up this rarity. It just looks so clean. It looks really clean. Really, really clean. Konami hitting us with the high rarity Sky Striker cards. Our wallets don't like it, but we do. So 3 Ray. As I said, we have cut Rose down to 1. With Linkage, the deck does become a lot more consistent. So if you've got Ray and Linkage in hand, you are most likely gonna OTK if you manage to break your opponent's board, or if your opponent ends on an empty board. So 3 Ray, 1 Rose. Now for our hand traps, our hand trap lineup is quite heavy. Of course, we're playing the 3 Ash Blossom. A new addition is the 3 Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion. There is a lot of graveyard effects, especially with the new Ishizu stuff. Terraliment's taking over the format, so adding to that is the 3 DD Crow, and of course we are playing our 3 Infinite Impermanence. So based on this past locals, DD Crow OP, Ghost Spell OP, Infinite Imperm, it was Infinite Imperm. Ash Blossom, I wasn't too sure of it, as a lot of decks, I did play Draco Slayers, and I did Ash some of their stuff, but I mean, they just kept going. I feel like Droll Lock would have been more impactful, or maybe like another trap, I don't know, like Skullmeister or Silent Graveyard or something like that. But I'll get to that when I get to the side deck, because there was some side deck cards that I wish I'd played instead of others, but I will get that when I get to the side deck. So this is our hand trap lineup. 12 hand traps. Not as heavy, I've played more before. Our Sky Striker spells. The 3 Linkage. I see some people playing 2. You definitely want to play 3. This is definitely the card that you want to hard draw. If you don't know what it does yet, I will read it out to you. If you control no monsters in your main monster zone, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, except Sky Striker Ace monsters. Also, send one other card you control to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one Sky Striker Ace monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. And if you have at least one light and one dark Sky Striker Ace monster on your field and or in your graveyard, the summoned monster gains 1000 attack. So... sorry, I've just dropped the card. So, I mean, you want to send Hayate. With Hayate, you want to send the Rose to grave. Hopefully, you already have the Ray in grave. So, Hayate send Rose, and then you get the attack boost to hit with more damage. So, 3 linkage. Pick them up now. They have definitely dropped in price a lot from pre-order. So, you definitely want to pick them up. You need it. You need it in Striker now. It's like a card you can't play the deck without it now. So, 3 linkage. 3 Widow Anchor. This is possibly, I always tell everyone, this is probably the very best Sky Striker card in the whole archetype. I mean, negate a monster effect, and if you've got the 3 spells, take control of it and swing with it. Widow Anchor has won me so many matchups. So back to the trying to get rid of graveyards or negating graveyard effects. 2 Shark Cannon. This was the debate, 1, 2, or 3. But I think 2 was the perfect ratio. I definitely don't want to see 3. Because that, well, I basically built it around my locals as well. I didn't think anyone would play the Ishizu Tear. But I just think 3 is a bit too bricky. So even if there was a lot of Ishizu Tear, I would only play 2 because we've got Ghost Spell, we've got DD Crow, we've got other stuff to deal with it. And we are playing the one called by the grave, so technically that's another Shark Cannon. So 3 Anchor and 2 Shark Cannon. Another 2 of is the 1 Afterburners. We are trying to OTK going second, so we want to pop our opponent's monsters, and if you've got the 3 spells in grave, you get to pop the back row. Our 1-ofs, the 1 Mighty Powerful Engage, the 1 Multi-Roll, and the 1 Hornet Drones. Standard. I did cut Area 0 last minute because I feel like it's not needed. We are still playing the Terraforming, but you already know what that is searching. And that is the 3 Mystic Mine. I did come up against Sword Soul. Game 1, I lost because I didn't have an out to their board. I bricked a bit. But game 2, it was basically Mystic Mine stall. Hayate kept swinging. And then we just went to game 3, and then I managed to take game 3. But Mystic Mine is still really good. Yes, we are trying to OTK. Yes, we are going second. But Mystic Mine is there for you to basically sit on it and draw your combo pieces. So the 1 Terraforming to search the Mystic Mine. No Area 0. I don't think it's needed. More 1-ofs. The 1 Reinforcements of the Army and the 1 Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave wasn't as good as I thought it would be this past weekend. I mean, it's a 1-of card, and there's just so many graveyard effects. I would rather play something else. Yes, it is OP if you draw into it, but I think Called by the Grave is going to leave the main deck. I'm not too sure. I'll do more testing, and then I will update this build. But in the meantime, 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Reinforcements of the Army. For draw power, technically, you could say, is the 3 Triple Tactic Talents. I can honestly say this card came up a lot. A lot came up this weekend. There was a lot of effects that my opponents would trigger on my turn, so I would always go for the draw 2 cards. Draw 2, because that would either draw me into Anchor or into Hand Traps, which was really OP. But yeah, 3 Triple Tactic Talents. I was playing 2, but I did cut the next card, which is 2 Forbidden Droplets. Another card that was really OP. I wish I'd played 3. But I think I'm going to keep it at 2 because it was the perfect ratio. So yeah, Triple Tactics came up a lot. Really good. I was playing 2, bumped it up to 3, and I don't regret it. Honestly, really good card. It did get reprinted in Magnificent Maven, so pick them up while they're cheap. Forbidden Droplet, I cut the 3rd one because we are playing the Infinite Impermanence. We are playing the Widow Anchor, so Forbidden Droplets just kind of adds to that monster negate. Yes, we did cut Effect Veiler. I feel like it's not as impactful in Striker. Yes, it is that monster negate. It's not once per turn, but I mean, we really did only use it to like turbo out the Hulk. So 2 droplets, 3 imperms, and the 3 anchors, I think is the perfect ratio for monster negates. I might even cut the third called by the grave to the one called by the grave for the 3rd forbidden droplet. I will do some more testing and then obviously update it, but that is it for the main deck. Just the 3 trap cards, the infinite imperm, and the rest are all spells, 12 hand traps, and our 4 main monsters. But moving on to the extra deck now. Extra deck, we do love our ultis. 3 Hayate, 3 Kagari, 3 Shizuku, 1 Kana. A lot of people are obviously cutting the Hayate to 2 and then playing something else like Lina, the Charmer, Dark, and stuff like that. With linkage, if you don't manage to OTK, you are still going to want to keep going linkage. So we need as many Sky Striker monsters as we can. So you definitely want to play the 3rd Hayate. You basically go Hayate, Kagari, Shizuku. Kana is really good. Remember, Kana, every time you activate a Sky Striker spell, you gain the 100 life points. So remember that, because that can really benefit you when you're playing like close to time. So adding to that is the 2 Sky Striker Ace Zeke. Zeke does come up a lot now when you Widow Anchor something, when you Shark Cannon something to try and link climb, because remember, we're not playing Hulk anymore. So you definitely want to Zeke, and then also it clears boards. Another link to the 1 Dark Charmer. I did cut Celine out, which was why the Charmers were mainly in the deck now. But it is still a really good link climb into Access Code Talker. Our link 3 is the 1 Nightmare Unicorn. I was playing Lina, the Light Charmer, which is basically like dark but light. You take a light monster and then bring it back from the grave. But I mean, Unicorn it's just better. Unicorn's always been good. And the last, obviously, our link 4 is the 1 Access Code Talker. He did come up in a matchup versus Crawlers this past weekend, and both games I won 2-0, and both games it was basically Access Code. Access Code won me that whole round. And yeah, it's still OP. You don't really need Celine anymore. We aren't playing a fake Veiler. We aren't playing Hulk. Obviously, it's banned now, so that combo's sort of like slowed down. So we're going to try and link climb using something else. And I mean, Unicorn, Dark are useful cards still to interrupt our opponents. So that is it for the extra deck. Moving on to the side deck. So for the side deck, 3 Nibiru, 3 Dark Ruler No More, 3 Dimensional Barrier, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, and the 3 Evenly Matched. Now, I always tell people you don't have to follow the side deck according to the deck profile you watch. Side deck according to what people play at your locals. There is a lot of rogue at my locals, so the light's flashing on these. So I am going to side deck according to what people usually play. There is a lot of board spam decks, so Nibiru stayed in. Dark Ruler No More is Dark Ruler No More in case they've got like big boss monsters that can be targeted, blah, 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 blah. Dimensional Barrier is still surprisingly good. And then for back row hate, Cosmic Cyclone, we don't really want to discard with Twin Twisters because linkage already requires us to get rid of a card. We are playing Forbidden Droplets, so you also discard with that, so it would be too much discarding if we play Twin Twisters. Harpy's Feather Duster is Harpy's Feather Duster, and then Evenly Matched in case we have to go brrr. But yeah, cards I wish I'd cut would have been Dark Ruler No More. I didn't use it at all. There wasn't a situation where I was like, oh, I can't get over that monster, I have to use Dark Ruler No More. I basically stopped my opponents before they try and go into like their boss monster. So Nibiru, there was a few times where I would have needed him, but when I did need him, which was against Draco Slayers, I never saw him. So Nibiru might be cut as well. Dimensional Barrier I'll definitely keep. Evenly Matched I will definitely keep. Back row hate is back row hate, so we're keeping that. Cards I wish I played were Different Dimension Ground. Basically, any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Another card I wish I'd played was Silent Graveyard, which basically shuts off graveyard effects. Yes, it does shut off your Ray and your Rose, but I mean, it's more impactful trying to shut off our opponent, which is really, really good. Maybe Solemn Judgments, I don't know. And more back row hate. I had a matchup against Runic, and it was just so painful. Like game 3 we went into time and we just went for the draw, because it was game 3, 5 minutes left on the round. It was like turn 10 and we were both still on 8k life points because we just kept negating each other's effects. He kept milling, I kept Ghost Spell, DD Crow his targets engrave and stuff, so it was a really tough matchup. But yeah, this is the side deck, guys. Remember, side deck according to your locals. Or just follow this side deck and see if it works at your locals. And yeah, remember the token got reprinted in Magnificent Mavens. And to celebrate the release of Linkage, I am giving away a free pack of engaged sleeves. You can enter this giveaway from anywhere in the world. All you have to do is like the video and comment down your favorite card from Magnificent Mavens. It doesn't have to be a Sky Striker card, so comment down below what your favorite card from this set is, like the video, and you can win a free pack of engaged sleeves. I will send these to anywhere in the world free of cost, because it is a free giveaway. The giveaway will be announced in my next YouTube video, so stay tuned for that. But for now, guys, I hope you enjoyed the deck profile. Let me know your thoughts down below. Sky Striker best deck. Kyber Lord out.